Welcome back to Two Hands and a Face Audio through a haze of Dominican smoke, because it's the very best, almost. We are taking a good long look today at the Lounsberry Organ Grinder pedal from the good folks at Lounsberry, Greg Lounsberry himself being what I would call a bona fide tone guru. This pedal, as the name would imply, organ grinder, was initially designed to help keyboard players reproduce those beautiful vintage distorted tones that were common from bands sporting a B3, a Hammond B3 organ, and a Leslie speaker kit. Now, you guys know what this sounds like. You heard it from John Lord and Deep Purple. You heard it from Mott the Hoople. You heard it from Kansas. You heard it from Argent. I could go on all day. And this device does indeed help modern keyboard players who are using digitally synthesized devices to recreate those beautiful, lush distortion tones. So Greg, knowing that I supported the product, sent one to me, but I don't play keyboards. So what I did was I tried it out on my bass rig, and with spectacular results. And I even loaned it to a friend of mine who was a professional bass player, and he put the wear that you might see on the photograph of my personal edition of the organ grinder, because he gigged with it for a long time until I made him give it back to me. So let's start. I've got a clean tone that sounds something like this. Nothing particularly impressive. It's a decent, usable bass tone. But if I was going to play a gig, I'd want a little more bite out of it, especially something in the blues or rock realm. I'd want some more bite. So at some nominal settings, let's engage our Lounsberry organ grinder and see what we get out of it. Same riff. Okay, right off the bat, I'm noticing that there is, in addition to a slight boost in the volume, which you can control with the output control on the pedal, you can put the volume wherever you want it. But in terms of the content of the tone itself, I'm getting a nice low distortion bite out of it. The word is bite. So we're getting a little bit of increase in the bass part of the spectrum, and we're also getting a really good low level distortion, something that's very pleasant. This is something in a rock gig or a blues gig that I could leave on all night, because it's very touch reactive, as most Lounsberry pedals tend to be. When I back off my attack on the strings, even with the Lounsberry engaged, I can clean up the sound. Example. Or I can back off my attack a skosh. And I get a nice clean sound, relatively clean, almost completely sparkling crystal clean. Okay, here's the organ grinder with the drive control, which obviously controls the amount of distortion that we hope to add to the signal, and it's turned up just a little bit, and it gives us even more bite and more dynamic response and more almost unexpected overtones. It really makes a new rig out of this situation. Okay, that's about as much distortion as you'd ever want out of a standard rock or blues gig. But if you really wanted to push the envelope on this distortion pedal, you can get it to an area where a metalhead might embrace it. You can push this for a lot more distortion than you just heard. But the truth is, in that lower setting, it gives us kind of a sweet, gives us a tone that we can use for a variety of applications. And again, this is a device that was initially designed for keyboard players. But you know, a bass player might get a kick out of it too. Now, there are other Lounsberry products that are dedicated to use with a bass guitar, and they sound amazing, and they produce a totally different window of distortion than this. They have a different character. But I have found in my classic rock gig that this one gives me just exactly what I want. I highly recommend that you try the Organ Grinder by Lounsberry on your bass rig. If you're a keyboard player, by all means, try it on your Hammond simulation in your synthesizer. It will give you those beautiful, wonderful distortion tones that you hope to get from the library of the 1970s. And again, as always, Lounsberry pedals are completely 100% analog. No integrated circuits were harmed, used, or even considered in the making of this device. So, in closing, get yourself a Lounsberry Organ Grinder pedal. Try it on your bass rig, try it on your keyboard rig. If you like what you just witnessed, please hit the subscribe button. If you hated what you just experienced, hit it a couple or 3 or 4 times. Thank you.